Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Bitcoin at 52 G's, baby, on its way to 60,000 in price discovery. Let's go. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis and breaking news. Elizabeth Warren signs a certificate to honor Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto with a ceremonial flag flying, quoting her here. Americans are forever grateful. Oh, the irony. We'll also be discussing Ethiopia to start mining Bitcoin through a new data mining partnership, as well as MICROSTRATEGY'S Bitcoin holdings surpass $10 billion. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin now at an all-time high in these 5 fiat currencies, as well as Bitcoin ETF inflows continue to snowball as the last 4 days are bigger than the first 4 weeks. And we're just getting started. It's only been a month, fam. They've already collectively accumulated over 200,000 BTC. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin will hit 1 million per coin this cycle, according to Samson Mow. I'll be breaking down why that is. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Welcome, crypto fam. What it do? Let me know if the stream is loud, clear, and smooth, and how many of you were on the practically 14-hour live pump watch last night. The bad news, we didn't hit our 55,000 target. The good news, we're still floating at 52,000 with 55,000 still in play. Holla at your boy, family. Shout out to Digital Dankness. What it do, fam? What up, James Elsey? Good to see ya. Wow, I didn't know Tika left his publisher. Shout out Tika Tuari. He also resides out here in Puerto Rico. Loud, clear, and smooth, boss. Greatly appreciate that. Always convince my best friends to invest in biddies. You're a good friend, Adam. Cheers to that. Shout out to Darth Melda. Good to see a family as the legend of Melda continues. Nipsey's back in the building. Shout out to the official mascot of the channel. I dropped in and out last night. Appreciate that support, Paula G. We had a literally 14-hour pump watch, which started 11:30 p.m. in Puerto Rico time, and it ended this afternoon at like 1 p.m. Kind of crazy. Alice in obscurity in the building. A good morning from Melbourne, Australia. One of the all-time highs for Bitcoin is in Australia. We surpassed 82,000 Australian dollars per Bitcoin, which is pretty extravagant. And again, US dollars, we're going to follow in those footsteps. 6-figure biddies, income, and bring it. Loud and clear, you have the Energizer batteries. Precisely, they have the Energizer battery in my pack, just like that bunny that keeps going. Orange-pilled Warren, it's kind of funny, right? That's an ironic one. We'll be discussing that a little bit more as well. Loud, clear, and my favorite live podcast. Thank you, Lisa Brawl. I am honored and appreciate your support. Thank you for tuning in. It's Thursday. This week is flying by. It's been a hell of a week. Bitcoin up over 20% on the week. And also, tomorrow's Friday. We're going to get another weekend pump. Are we going to hit 55 G's? Let me know your thoughts. Always appreciated. The dollar is dead. Preach. Shout out to Facts. I don't know if you were on yesterday's stream, but you were right. 2 episodes ago, I thought I was recording into like this dope mic, and it was actually picking up the computer mic for whatever reason, and you called it, and you're the only one who pointed it out. So respect to Facts. Let's go. Was over 100,000 last run. Well, good to note. All-time high in Australian dollars. It's already hit 6 figures. Crazy, right? Welcome. Thank you for tuning in while at work and getting paid on the clock to watch the pod. Doesn't get no better than that. The everlasting bliss, 48,333 in euros. Good to note. We all know which crypto is second best. Should we ask what does it say? Asking for kicking chickens? Anyways, here's what Sailor has to say. The man whose company is now 10 billion in Bitcoin, over 10 billion.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well,
and I believe 4 billion of that is profit, just FYI.
Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
There you have it. Please turn those cringy, shocked thumbnails down. What do you suggest, Lewis? I mean, the last few days were just a regular smile. So today we switched it up and went, is that cringy, big dog? For real? Be honest. What do you guys think? Do you like my thumbnails or no? Should I be putting Michael Saylor back in the thumbnails and Samson Mow? Can you accept JB on a thumbnail, or I'm not worthy? Be honest.
Saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied.
Yeah. What up, Silas? Welcome. Raven, welcome. Pump Watch was lit last night. Glad you enjoyed it. You had DJ JV on the ones and twos.
I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Turn them up, JV. Shock and awe, bro. There you go, Adam. There is no second best. If I'm not here chatting with you guys, I'm still listening every single day. And I know when I am not hearing the same thing. Precisely, big dog. So I appreciate you for that. Smash the like. Thank you, Paula. You look good, bro. Thank you, Palm Beach Chris. Cheers. Your thumbnails rock. Thank you, Darth Melda. The people have spoken. Love your thumbnails. Thank you, Raven. Your thumbnails are just perfect. Thank you, John. I like them, says Jerry. Appreciate that. JV, you are worthy. Appreciate it. Good thumbnail. Much respect. Who do what you do? We're all good. There you go, Wayne. Appreciate it. What up, Mohammed? Good to see you, family. How are the cousins in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Qatar? Let us know if there's any updates. We always appreciate it.
There's no second best crypto asset.
Yeah, I know, man. Sailor's now up over 4 billion on his Bitcoin position. MicroStrategy surpassed 10 billion. It was pretty amazing.
There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right?
Yes, Jan Ito. It is live every day, 7 days a week. Hence why you just got a shout out live as soon as you dropped a comment in the chat. Hence, everyone watching on the sidelines, make sure you're logged in and interact in the chat, for Christ's sake.
The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura.
Don't you know that? Thanks for whoever gifted this membership to me. ICP to 5,000 and Metastyle 1,000. Bitcoin to 70 G's. Send it. Shout out Mohammed. I don't know if it was Casey or Zero, but God bless everyone who has been contributing and gifting memberships. Truly appreciate it. Happy I found this channel a month ago. Now I am here every day. Appreciate your bullish moon. Hey JV, watch from Cornwall, England. Shout out Fairground Fun Fairs UK. What it do? That's me. It sure is. Yanito. Welcome to the stream. Make sure to subscribe. #1 daily Bitcoin pod right here, hands down. Thanks to our community. Appreciate you, JV, and the community. Appreciate your work stuff. What it do? Big hug on Binance with exchange rate, auto exchange to 10x the price on Bitcoin with the ETH pair. I posted a video. Well, appreciate you tuning in. What up, Data Biter? Hit that like. Appreciate the reminder. Shout out to all our legends and OGs in the building. 100Ks in play each and every day. You know what I mean? And
pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up.
Hey man, yesterday was a hell of a day. This entire week has been a hell of a week, and we're just getting started. Price discovery around the corner. It'll be here before you know it. Bitcoin halving 62 days out. Let's go. Merc 30, 100K party. Fiesta in the bag. Bring it. When MicroStrategy hits 14.5 billion, they will make the S&P 500. Let's go. Yeah, man. And ironic enough, Vanguard is the primary shareholder of MicroStrategy, and they claim to be anti-Bitcoin, and they're not allowing their clients to invest in ETF products, which is interesting. My mom's is good. She's here for a few more days, so I'm enjoying her company. We went out for Valentine's Day, had a nice lunch yesterday at the mall. Appreciate you asking, Jennifer. Hopefully you guys had a pretty incredible Valentine's Day. And last night on the Pump Watch, I was drinking champagne. We were toasting and celebrating. Thank you, Juan. Appreciate it. You are worthy. Respect. JV, you're not a beer. You can't please everyone. Can you invite Janet Jackson for an interview and pump her up and down? Stress-free. Good Lord.
You've got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up.
Speaking of pumping it up, pump the like, to pump the stream. Appreciate that. And everyone just joining the channel, be sure to smash the subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. Also important to pump the likes, to pump the stream. It helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And also equally important to smash the bell icon and turn on all notifications. That way you get notified each and every day when I go live, because we go live at different times from day to day. For example, tomorrow I'll be going live extra early as I got to pick my daughter up from school in the afternoon. So we'll have a very early afternoon show. The exact time I still don't know, but I'll know in the morning. So make sure you have notifications turned on. Today is pod episode number 1552. I'm your host, JV, and today is February 15th, 2024. And Bitcoin's still hovering around at $52,000. We virtually hit a I would say a 2-year high. Yesterday, we tapped, depending upon the exchange, anywhere from $52,500 to $53,000 per coin. We're now only 18,000 away from price discovery. You got Ether crushing it as well, up 2.5%, now trading above 2,800, the highest price action we have seen for Ethereum in 2 years as well. BNB in the forest green, up 7% on the day. Cardano, XRP, virtually everything minus Chainlink and Solana is pumping right now. And let's check out coinmarketcap.com. We're sitting at a 1.95 trillion total market cap. We also hit a milestone, I think it was yesterday or the day before, surpassing $1 trillion for the Bitcoin market cap, virtually for the first time in the past couple of years. Now, we also have 91 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance at a 52.3%, with the Ether dominance at 17.4%. As you can see, the Bitcoin market cap surpassed that $1 trillion milestone, as I referenced earlier, and there's actually 37 billion in volume into Bitcoin for the past 24 hours. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, we got VeChain leading the pack, up 30% on the day. Whoa. We got BitGet token up 19%, and Terra Classic up 14%. And checking out below that, Aptos, Say, XLR, BitTorrent, Uniswap. Which altcoins in particular are you guys most bullish on during this bull run? Let me know in the comments in the live chat. And checking out the crypto bubbles to see a visual perspective on the daily, you can see VET leading the pack, Luna Classic, BGB, Tau, Apt, all crushing it. And I'd say the majority of the alts are back in the green. And zooming out on the monthly, we can say the same. The majority of the alts back in the green. Is it alt season? What do you guys think? Do let me know. And you got some of them ripping. Tau is up 185% on the month. Pith 91%, and Pendle 79%. Shout out Stacks 59%, and even Link is up 32% on the month. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated as 72 in greed. Yesterday, 74. Last week, 66. And last month, a 64. And checking out the Bitcoin halving countdown, we're now only 61 days out, which is virtually 2 months from the halving, scheduled to take place on April 17th. Again, 2 months is going to come before you know it. When we hit that price discovery mode, where will the Bitcoin price be? Or I should say, as we hit that halving, do you think we'll be in price discovery mode or trending in that direction? Holla at your boy. And let's check the chat before we dive into our live Q&A. HNT and Mobile says tokenomics, bullish on those alts. Sheeb lost a 0 last night. I don't know what that means, like market cap, or what happened when you say it lost a 0. Wabbit season. We hunting Wabbit. Stress-free VIP. I know your brother, close friend of parents, so since being a baby. Oh, nice. You guys are buddies. Miners, bloody grab some ASAP, says Norm. UK, short recession in the UK, no recession in the Bitcoin. There is no second best. That's right, family. You got that right.
All your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin.
Duck season. It's bear season too. Number 4, the algo. Are you referring to Algorand there, Paula? Ethereum Classic to the moon. Are you bullish on ETH Classic there, Norm? Hey, yo, what up? Josh X, what's happening? Good to see you, family. Appreciate you tuning in to the stream. We're just getting this party started. Welcome, everyone just joining us. Hey, JV, I currently have 0.36 BTC. Could this be enough for generational wealth in the future? Depends how long into the future we're talking about. Potentially, obviously no time soon, but for the future, generations to come, absolutely, it's a possibility. I would still work towards striving to 1 Bitcoin, though. I believe in you. You still got time. It's not 2025 yet, so keep stacking accordingly and get those numbers up the best you can. You know what I mean? Raven, it was trading at whoa, and now I see what you mean. Gotcha. Woohoo! What up, fam? Shout out Casey Gates. Always an honor, fam. Overclock those miners for the next 2 months. For real, I caught it live. Cheers, Rudy. Good to see you, brother. Big bun on Binance with the exchange. Someone's pumping Binance here. Should I sell my soul? Never sell your soul. Sol, that's a different story. For COQ. What happened to H-bar? It's a good question. What happened? Clue me in. What up, fam? Wrench Whisperer, like your username there. For the algo. Yes, pump the likes for the algo, 100%. Thank you, Paula. It does help out tremendously, believe it or not. Pump the likes to pump the stream. We appreciate that. I missed the first 15. It's all good. We had 10 minutes of welcoming people, and we had like 2 minutes of market watch, so you didn't miss much. I actually made money on SHIB 2 years ago, only kept a couple of mil just in case. Now, you kept a couple mil worth of SHIB or a couple $1 million worth of SHIB. I had a chance to meet Janet Yellen last year at her birthday party. You for real, Silas? But it was formal suit only, and moths have devoured my only one during the pandemic. Interesting. I went from no Bitcoin to 4 in 3 months. That's pretty impressive, Casey. Well done. Don't stop. I believe in you. Keep going. You'll probably have 10 before the end of this year. Maybe even more if you keep up at that pace. Let's go. Maybe 20 BTC for Casey. Send it. Bitcoin, 52,000. Now, no idea. Well, we touched 52. I think the next logical resistance is going to be 55, then 60, another psychological resistance. And once we hit 60, I can foresee going from 60 to 69 and above, price discovery mode, quick. So we're going to have to start plotting this 100K fiesta in here for Puerto Rico. It's going to happen soon. What do you think about gaming crypto? Bullish. I saw the gaming sector blow up along with the NFT sector in the previous cycle, so I would expect nothing less. Gaming is massive. Kids love gaming, and just look at like Roblox and those games. They're worth hundreds of billions of dollars. It's insane. So yeah, gaming I'm definitely bullish on. And I'm a gamer. I have a PS5 and like to play games myself. So nice work, Casey. Cheers, family. Shout out Daddy-O, Damien8. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. We greatly appreciate you, family.
Take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And
Bitcoin hit 1 million per coin today in SA currency. Nice. So Bitcoin's ready, trading at $1 million. Let's go. Showtime. Welcome, Bill Allen. Shout out Knox Bill. 100K by May, June. Send it. Fiesta incoming. Bring it. If you send me 1 Bitcoin, I have a Jamie Dimon send you 2. When would you sell Bitcoin? When you understand the superior apex predator? Never, Laura, because it's going up forever. Why would you want the fiat currency that's going to be hyperinflated? I'd rather be on the side of hyper Bitcoinization and benefit from that versus lose all my purchasing power to inflation by holding fiat currency. So kind of a trick question. Leverage trade some Bitcoin long, y'all, says Meatloaf Farts. What a username, man. Only in crypto do you get people like Meatloaf Farts for usernames. And it's like normal. Gotta love it. But anyways, fam, let's dive into our Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. Bitcoin's on its way to 55,000 this week. That's why we did a 55,000 pump watch, fam. But warnings of a new bear market are already surfacing. Yeah, Bitcoin bulls continue to fight for the road towards all-time highs with resistance at roughly where we're at, 52,000, currently forming a battleground. Now, Titan of Crypto, capturing overall market sentiment, suggests that extremely bullish momentum can take Bitcoin another 6% higher in the coming week. Let's go. Uploading the weekly chart, including the Ichimoku cloud data. He outlined one more upside target left to hit, with 2 already achieved, quoting the analyst here. Bolt target 1 and 2 have been hit, but 50,900 is a strong level. If Bitcoin manages to close a weekly candle above, target 3 at 55,400 is next. And he also said, note that given the extremely bullish momentum, target 3 has a high chance to get hit even before the end of the week. And you can see that target sitting at 55,400 in this chart. Let me know if you feel we're likely to hit that third and final target from the analyst. We could hit it today, family. There's no telling. And happy 420. It's 420 right now, live in Puerto Rico. Now, the Ichimoku currently shows a rare bullish setup on the weekly time frames, with Bitcoin price now clearing major resistance features. Looking ahead, concerns over a potentially overheated market are leading to Bitcoin price downside predictions as the battle between the bears and the bulls continue. Now, Credible Crypto warned that even if the existing all-time highs are exceeded and Bitcoin passes 100,000 per coin, the odds of a snap correction are increasing. He says this represents natural market dynamics. Despite heavy inflows into the spot Bitcoin ETFs, nothing can remain in up-only mode indefinitely. At the end of the day, for every major parabolic rise, there is a major crash and vice versa. You don't get unhinged greed and euphoria without an equal and opposite reaction when that euphoria peaks. Credible referenced another post by trader, YouTuber TXMC Trades, who earlier told readers not to trust in the ETF inflows propelling Bitcoin higher ad infinitum. Quoting him here, while I do think that we are in an aggressive path to new all-time highs at the moment, the tweet below is important to cement into your mind, as there will be a point in the relatively near future when a major crash/correction will be deemed impossible. Yada, yada, yada. Now, others also maintain an air of caution over the Bitcoin price strength. Quoting crypto analyst Mikhail Bende-Pop, I wouldn't be unhappy if we got a slight correction to return to reality. The inflow in the ETFs is great for Bitcoin. However, it's not the sole argument for the markets to move. If I look at this clean chart, it suggests we are, number one, super bullish, and number two, slightly overheated. I wouldn't be unhappy if we got a slight correction to return to reality. Now, also, in the news, this is actually quite ironic, as I mentioned in the intro, Elizabeth Warren signs a certificate to honor Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto with a ceremonial flag flying. Americans are forever grateful. So, oh, the irony, because we all know Senator Warren is anti-Bitcoin, an enemy of Bitcoin, and trying to do crazy things with her bills like ban self-custody so that we can't hold our own private keys, so that Bitcoin is more confiscatable from the government, which, of course, we thank God that none of her bills ever get passed. But yeah, here's the headline here. Senator Warren honored Satoshi for the 15th anniversary of the network's launch with a commemorative flag flown over the United States. So you know deep down inside how they really feel about Bitcoin, family. That's why this is so ironic. And in other news, this was actually just shared this morning, and I transcribed it. It's basically the Bitwise team, and here's what they were sharing. I am anticipating by the time we get to the end of 2025, we're talking 2 years, we're going to see total inflows of more than $150 billion. We're only at $5 billion right now, referring to the ETFs. Individual investment advisors, independents, those that are operating their own firms collectively manage around $8 trillion in assets, and 3/4 of them in every industry survey done by DocFP, as well as Bitwise, all show that 3/4 of the advisors say they are going to allocate to these ETFs, and that their average allocation is going to be about 2.5% of assets. So the arithmetic, 8 trillion times 77% times 2.5% is 150 billion worth of flows. And that's just the independent advisors. It excludes the wirehouses, it excludes the regional broker dealers, and it excludes the institutional investors. So can you say FOMO like a mofo? Let me know now. Now, do they see their blanket hypocrisy? Of course they know. Yeah, they must. Pocahontas, you got that right, Daddy-O. That's who we were referring to. Banance, Miss Yellen, she's hilarious. Someone needs to explain Web 2 and 3 to Liz Warren, right, Adam? No, they don't see their hypocrisy. Well, they make big money being enemies of Bitcoin and doing all these unlawful bills and trying to censor things that they have no right censoring. But we know it's not going to work. But nonetheless, they won't continue trying, unfortunately. Does Bitcoin fall? Never. What do you think? Bitcoin is Rome? Bitcoin's going up forever. No, because I want you to think of this. If you zoom out, Bitcoin has been on a bull run for 15 years. Don't get too caught up in like the weekly or monthly time frames. You got to look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is this. Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to increase its purchasing power because the US dollar is mathematically guaranteed to lose purchasing power, just as it has against Bitcoin over the past 15 years. So if the dollar is mathematically guaranteed to lose purchasing power, then Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to gain it. That's why your purchasing power in Bitcoin has been going parabolic for 15 years straight and is not going to slow down. And hence why your purchasing power of the dollar has been decreasing. And when we witness true hyperinflation, man, Bitcoin is going to rip. So sky is the limit, or as I say, there's no limit to the sky. Therefore, there's no limit. When in doubt, zoom out. For real, Casey. Yeah, Mantis, a must. We need to enjoy a long life and watch our kids grow up. Amen to that. Cheers. What up, Pepe? Is there a Pepe 2.0? gaining momentum there, Mohammed? What happened to Pepe 1.0? I haven't seen it lately. Bitcoin is going forever to the moon, infinity and beyond. For real. And that's not an exaggeration. It's always going to go up against the dollar. And if you understand the dollar, then you better understand Bitcoin. If you don't understand the dollar, it may be a little confusing, that concept. Elizabeth Warren reminds me of my algebra teacher. Oh, no. Yeah, we must do this procedure so we can have longer lifespan and enjoy our kids. What procedure are we talking about? I missed that part of the comment. Dogecoin to the moon, says Doge It Tommy. What up, Doge Tommy? Dogecoin is the next Dogecoin. Americans should live in Australia. You would love it. I love the price action of Bitcoin in Australia, but I don't think the Australian dollar is doing too well. That's kind of scary. So I guess you got Bitcoin, you're protected. Now, I do want to visit Australia because I've never been there. I haven't been to New Zealand or Australia. We are the new rich revolution. Cheers to the new rich. Shiba Inu eats a zero. Let's freaking go, Army. That's what everyone's saying. It allegedly lost a zero or ate a zero. Lots of talk. The halving. Oh, how was your colonoscopy? You were telling us about it yesterday, Serge. Hopefully all went well. Algebra teacher can't relate the material and completely out of touch. Tell him.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
Reminds me of a piñata. Love piñatas, man. Nipsey living a good life with you. You already know. Nipsey is the king here at the house of Mikasa. True, I would love machine gun, but we don't need them here like you do there. What? If Dogecoin hits $1, I'll give everyone in this chat $100. The least you can do, I'm gonna ask for 1,000. Everybody here, all 408 of you. If Dogecoin hits $1, can you spare 1,000 to 400 people? If the US dollar is toilet paper, the Aussie dollar is a tampon. And the Canadian dollar is depends. That's hilarious, Norm. And so true. That's a powerful statement. Bitcoin is forever. Yeah, Bitcoin equals infinity. The Simpsons got that prediction correct. Afternoon, crypto fam, checking in from rainy Seattle. Shout out Paradiddle. Much love, much respect. Appreciate your support. I thought that was just my algebra teacher. They all must be the same. Pretty much. Anyways, family, let's continue. We discussed the latest TA / astrology for men. Now let's discuss Bitcoin breaking out and hitting all-time highs in several different countries. But actually, should we do the Ethiopia story first? Yeah, so I kind of mixed up the stories here. So let's do this Ethiopia one, and then we'll go back to that one, I guess. Kind of out of order, so give me a second here. Ethiopia. Yeah, let's discuss mining in Ethiopia and what's going on. The headline reads, Ethiopia to start mining Bitcoin through their new data mining partnership. That's right. The Ethiopian government is set to begin mining Bitcoin through a new partnership with Data Center Service, a subsidiary of West Data Group, according to the Ethiopia-based Hash Labs mining CEO, Kal Kasa. The partnership was announced by the country's sovereign wealth fund. There you go. Ethiopian Investment Holdings on February 15th. This is breaking news. I didn't even see it on any of the mainstream article sources. I had to dig, but I did find it, so I'm happy to share this with you. Under the collaboration, the sovereign wealth fund will invest $250 million in establishing cutting-edge infrastructure for data mining and artificial intelligence training operations in Ethiopia. So there you go. A sovereign wealth fund investing into Bitcoin mining. Let's go. Casa said the deal includes setting up Bitcoin mining operations using Canon Avalon miners and is part of the country's broader strategy to leverage its technological and energy resources to attract international investment as well as foster economic growth. However, the government has yet to confirm the news officially. EIH did not respond to the request. The news came amid a spike in miner activity due to the impending halving scheduled to take place in 61 days. That's right. Now, we all know the mining rewards get sliced in half. Many miners have already begun expansion efforts to position themselves appropriately. The venture is not without its challenges and controversies, particularly concerning the energy-intensive nature of Bitcoin mining. There's there's an ongoing debate about the impact of such operations on local electricity supply, especially in a country where energy access remains a pressing issue for a significant portion of the population. But despite these concerns, the Ethiopian government's move towards regulating cryptographic products, including mining, reflects a cautious yet optimistic approach to embracing the potential economic benefits of Bitcoin mining. This regulatory framework aims to ensure that the sector's growth does not come at the expense of the country's energy security or environmental commitments. The new rules pave the way for mining companies to set up shop in the country. Recent media reports revealed a significant increase in Chinese miners moving to the country as part of the BRICS movement. That's right. And speaking of Chinese miners, there's been a notable influx of these Chinese miners into Ethiopia over the past few months, drawn by the country's strategic initiatives and favorable conditions. Cheap electricity, right? The trend is part of the larger movement that has seen Chinese Bitcoin mining operations relocate in response to regulatory pressure at home and search for cost-effective, regulatory-friendly environments abroad. Ethiopia's low electricity costs, primarily due to the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, represents a primary lure for Chinese miners. This factor, coupled with the Ethiopian government's openness to technological investments and its efforts to foster a conductive environment for high-performance computing and data mining, has made the country an attractive destination for these operations. The dam's role is providing affordable, renewable energy, which aligns with the miners' needs for sustainable and economically viable power sources for their energy-intensive operations. The arrival of Chinese miners is underpinned by broader geopolitical and economic considerations. China's increasing involvement in Ethiopia, characterized by significant investments across various sectors, has established a solid foundation for such ventures, and the relationship is further reinforced by Ethiopia's strategic importance to China as a partner in Africa, offering Chinese companies a hospitable environment for expanding their operations, which include Bitcoin mining. So there you have it. Crypto fam, what are your thoughts with Chinese miners relocating to Ethiopia to tap into Bitcoin mining at affordable rates? Let me know your thoughts. Does Iceland have Bitcoin miner operations using their volcano power system? That's an excellent question. I would like to believe so, but I have no clue. I know El Salvador is even still working on the technological development to start mining Bitcoin using volcano energy. And I heard Max say it could take a few years to set up shop. And in the meantime, they're using alternative renewable sources like solar, stuff like that. Now, water, I know even in Costa Rica, when I lived out there, there's ways to tap into waterfalls and dams, like mentioned here in Ethiopia, to tap into some free energy. So yeah, man, I feel the world is abundant with free renewable energy, and it's just a matter of tapping in with technology. What up, Monty? Welcome to the stream, family. Bullish Moon says, yes, Iceland is broke. I am considering cell phone mining. I remember back in the day, one of the largest miners was in Iceland. And you got to think, because it's very cool there, so it may be cost effective and there's renewable energy. So I'm curious now, though, because I don't know how much of the hash power is actually comes out of Iceland. If you guys know, let me know. Hive has Iceland mine. Nice. Does China going to Ethiopia affect us? It's a good question. In what ways? I guess them mining Bitcoin is a good thing overall for the network, makes it more secure, and it's good that they're investing money into that. Someone has to do it. How about pedal power mining? I haven't heard of that one. Oh, kind of like Flintstones with your feet. Yeah, man. So, and what was the other story? I know Russia was setting up shop. Was it also in Ethiopia? A few weeks back, we had a headline, and it was Russia opening up shop in some country in Africa. It may have been Ethiopia as well, but I can't recall. If you guys remember, let me know. I'm curious. Energy storage is needed, but that would be interesting. Both Russia and China both setting up shop in Ethiopia. And I remember Russia, they're looking to make it a mining hub. It was somewhere in Africa. It may have even been Ethiopia, guys. Let me know. Tesla had it going on. Edison crushed it, pretty much. Yabba dabba doobies. Flintstone mining, nice. Need to find the best app. The miners also might imagine they'd like Icelandic women. Shiba Inu, baby. How about free Tesla electricity? Yes, please. Sign me up. I've been awaiting this free electricity my entire life, yet I still have an electric bill. What's going on? So no worries. Give me a couple of days. Casey's on it. Let's go, Casey.
If you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if
Boom, shakalaka. But anyways, fam, let's dive into our next story of the day. We discussed Ethiopia. Let me find our next story. I think we're going to be discussing MicroStrategy next. Here we go. MicroStrategy now has $10 billion worth of Bitcoin, as you can see here in this headline, meaning over 190,000 BTC. MicroStrategy's investment in Bitcoin reached a significant milestone, with the company holdings valued at $10 billion as Bitcoin rise above $52,000 per coin, like it ain't no thing. This achievement underscores MicroStrategy's steadfast commitment to Bitcoin as a long-term store of value and as a hedge against inflation. And you can see the Giga Chad right here doing his thing. So since its initial foray into Bitcoin, which was back in August of 2020, MicroStrategy had consistently increased its holdings, viewing Bitcoin as a key component of its treasury strategy. The company's executive chairman, Michael Saylor, has been a very big vocal advocate for Bitcoin, citing its potential to preserve purchasing power over time, which is precisely what it does. The company continues its accumulation of Bitcoin, highlighting its confidence in Bitcoin's ability to deliver superior returns compared to traditional investment assets. And last week, the business intelligence company considered itself the world's first Bitcoin development company. And that's fact, because they were the first publicly traded company to put the Bitcoin on the balance sheet. As shared here, MicroStrategy now considers itself the world's first Bitcoin development country. And here's the official statement from MicroStrategy. But anyways, as Bitcoin continues to gain mainstream acceptance and recognition as a legitimate asset class, MicroStrategy's sizable investment positions the company as a prominent player in the industry, with Bitcoin's price coming close to the previous all-time highs of 69,000. That's right, we're like $16,000 away, family. It's only a matter of time before we tap this. But I might as well read you this statement from MicroStrategy before we go on to our next story. MicroStrategy, the world's first Bitcoin development company. Now, MicroStrategy considers itself the first Bitcoin development company. We are a publicly traded operating company committed to the continued development of the Bitcoin network through our activities in the financial markets, advocacy, and tech innovation. As an operating business, we're able to use cash flows as well as proceeds from equity and debt financings to accumulate Bitcoin, which serves as our primary treasury reserve asset. We also develop and provide industry-leading AI-powered enterprise analytics software that promotes our vision of intelligence everywhere, and are using our software development capabilities to develop Bitcoin applications. We believe that the combination of our operating structure, Bitcoin strategy, and focus on tech innovation provides a unique opportunity for value creation. And as pointed out here, man, this is how it started. Wall Street Journal. This was back in August of 2022. Michael Saylor bet billions on Bitcoin and lost. A longtime MicroStrategy CEO and perhaps the biggest Bitcoin bull steps down. And then now, MicroStrategy's unconventional Bitcoin bet is now worth $10 billion. So yeah, always expect FUD from the mainstream, the same way they FUD Nayib Bukele when Bukele, adopted Bitcoin as the legal tender, and they try to turn him into an enemy. And clearly, they've all been proven wrong. So respect to Bukele and respect to the one and only Giga Chad. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. Pump the likes to pump the stream. We now got over 500 people here with us live. We appreciate you guys. Welcome everyone new to the channel. Important to smash the subscribe button to subscribe to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Hearing him speak is when I really begin to understand the potential for Bitcoin. Yeah, speaking of Saylor.
there's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right?
Our unity does not exist, but energy that is free of charge is very real. Preach. This site should be called Bitcoin News Alerts. Other great coins are rarely discussed, which is strange. Hey, that's actually a good name, but I already got the brand and I've been going strong for 6 years. Just keeping it 100. But here's what we typically do, family, every episode. We start with our market watch, and the market watch touches upon all the movers. The biggest movers and the biggest losers within the top 100 coins. So it's not the focus of the entire show because I believe Bitcoin deserves to be the primary focus. So that's why it is what it is. Pura Vida JV. I lived 3 years in Sariari, Costa Rica. That's what's up. I lived in Punta Leona. I lived in Cocoa Beach in Guanacaste. I spent a few years in Costa Rica. Beautiful place to be. Pura Vida fam. I feel somewhat free when you remove yourself from the noise. It's free. There you go. Pamp it up. Don't you know? Pamp it up. Putin would take my Bitcoin. Of course, he's no fool. Press start gaming. Good morning. Good morning, fam. Good afternoon and good evening. There is no second best. Crypto News Alert is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Tell them. What up, chill? When MicroStrategy gets above 14.5 billion, they'll be able to join the S&P. If that happens, the people will be investing in Bitcoin, whether they like it or not. Good point. We talk about other blockchains here in the chat, so there's that. That's true. And you guys can pump and promote any coins you like in the chat. In fact, I typically read everyone's comment out loud. I don't discriminate. So if you're bullish on a particular altcoin, feel free to drop it in the chat. You may get a shout out. JV used to like Ethereum too until they went off proof of work. This is true. I used to be an advocate of Ethereum until they switched their protocol, and I feel like I can no longer trust them. Very true. Biddy Fitty, what up, Krog? Good to see you guys. I am bullish on stacks. I mention that every day. So for what it's worth, ICP is getting an ETP in Europe, very similar to an ETF. One small step. Nice. I know a lot of you guys are bullish on ICP, so good for you guys. Greetings from Sweden. Sweden in the building. Shout out to Bear the Bull. Good to see you in here, live and in the flesh. Any Kathy Wood news? The news is most of the broskies in the live chat would actually drink her bathwater. That's like the latest. Trolls are welcome and celebrated. Counter views are welcome as well. Yeah, as long as you're respectful, like, I don't mind. You guys, free speech all the way. But if you start making fun of my family and dissing people just because you feel like being disrespectful, that's the only thing I don't tolerate. No disrespect. Show respect, you get respect right back at you. You reap what you sow. You know what I mean? Greetings from Pluto, the planet. Stacks is cool. It's been on fire too. News on Trump, baby. I don't have any news on Trump. If you guys got news, let a brother know. What up, Bob Marley? You talking about the bathwater there? I don't sell my soul. BGN, I greatly appreciate the super family. I always suspect of the change to staking ETH because the motivation and reasoning was flawed in the first place. I am not against energy. And more recently, they try to press Gensler. What's the deal with Ethereum, yada, yada, yada. And he was just silent. He wouldn't give us anything on whether they're going to be deeming that an unregistered security or a commodity, or if they're going to get the ETF approval. So go figure. No Claire Gare doing what he does best, providing no clarity as the chairman. Guys, big bug on Binance, the exchange. Yeah, man, I think you mentioned that the other day. Your family, for being Italian, 100% fam. Humans burn about 200 to 300 watts per day. Does it make us bad for the environment? The World Economic Forum thinks so. Yeah, that's sad. Did Elizabeth really just sign a thank you flag? Allegedly so, man. It's hard for me to fathom as well, but you already know she has an evil agenda, and it is what it is. But anyways, fam, pump the likes to pump the stream, but let's dive into our next story of the day. We discussed the latest with MicroStrategy. We discussed the latest with Ethiopia, with mining out of China. Now let's discuss these Bitcoin ETFs, shall we? Here we go. Let me find the article because I think we went out of order here. Give me a second. ETFs. Here we go. Bitcoin ETF inflows snowball with the last 4 days bigger than the first 4 weeks. Let's go. Spot Bitcoin ETFs have attracted more net inflows in the last 4 days than in the entire first 4 weeks of trading. So the snowball effect, fam, in full effect. According to data from Bitcoin tracking platform Opalo, the 10-spot Bitcoin ETFs have added 43,300 Bitcoin, worth $2.3 billion at the current prices, in inflows over the last 4 days alone. Comparatively, the funds took 20 days of trading to gather 42,000 in Bitcoin inflows. As Thomas points out here, we're witnessing total acceleration of the Bitcoin ETF inflows the first 20 days of trading, roughly 42,000 BTC worth of inflows. The last 4 days, 43,000 in Bitcoin inflows, which is staggering. And this is why I believe we're pumping at the rate we're pumping, going up 5% per day like it ain't no thing, up 20% for the week Let's go. It comes as 4 spot Bitcoin ETFs, excluding Grayscale, have taken their place in the Billionaire Club, with the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF becoming the latest to clear the milestone on February 14th, which was yesterday, as Bitwise points out here. Today, BitB crossed 1 billion in assets under management. To our investors, thank you. We're thrilled for what's ahead. Low cost, 0.2% gross expense ratio. That's pretty good compared to Grayscale, which has a 1.5% annual fee, family. Also, they mentioned there's a 10% donation of profits going to the developers. I believe that's Bitcoin developers. And the first US Bitcoin ETF to publish the address of holdings, which means proof of reserves. And I respect that as well. So shout out to Bitwise for doing things very ethically and transparently, in my opinion, in comparison to the others. Now, Nate Gerasi, the president of the ETF store, described the performance of Bitwise as the most impressive, adding that it was the only crypto native investment fund amongst top providers. Bitwise was beaten to billion-dollar status by BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust, as well as Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin Trust and Cathie Wood's ARK21 Shares Bitcoin Trust. The remaining ETFs, including Invesco, Van Eck, Valkyrie, and Franklin Templeton, are further off, as they have yet to breach the 500 million in assets under management. Now, Wisdom Tree's Bitcoin Trust has been struggling to gain meaningful inflows, currently standing last amongst the Bitcoin ETFs with just 23 million in assets under management. Notably, on February 13th, BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust became the first Bitcoin ETF to surpass 5 billion in assets under management, holding a total of 105,000 Bitcoin at the time. The bullishness around spot Bitcoin ETF flows have been viewed by many market participants as a key driving force behind Bitcoin's recent rally, which saw the price breach $50,000 per coin on February 12th. So there you have it, fam. What are your thoughts with these massive asset managers continuing to accumulate en masse this Bitcoin, and that the fact the past 4 days, the inflows have surpassed that of the first 4 weeks alone? I know collectively BlackRock and Fidelity are killing the game. They were the first two to surpass that billion-dollar milestone, and they're not slowing down. They're only going to be speeding up, hence the snowball effect. So there you go. Supply shock in full effect. We're also more than likely going to have a demand shock simultaneously this year, as all the Bitcoin is drying up on the open markets, and 80% of the Bitcoin supply is currently in the hands of the long-term hodlers. And so it's going to be very difficult in the near future for these asset managers to continue the snowball effect and accumulation. The prices are going to have to go up. You're going to have to bribe these long-term hodlers with higher prices for them to depart with their precious BTC. And you already know many of us will never sell Bitcoin, if you know what I mean, because we know it's going up forever. We don't want the inferior asset. We prefer the apex predator. Let me know if you agree. JB, what exchanges do you use? Well, shout out to Prime XBT because they're a current sponsor of the show. That's a good one for the international users. They have amongst the lowest fees compared to the other exchanges that we know. And so check them out. My referral link you'll find in a previous episode, a couple episodes ago. I'm still a fan of Coinbase. They've never done me dirty. I know a lot of you guys hate Coinbase, but it is still the number 1 crypto exchange in the United States and the most convenient to use. And I happen to live in a territory in the United States, so yeah, I mean, other ones which are worth honorable mention would be Kraken, Gemini. Also, you can buy directly nowadays from Cash App. You can use Swan. So there's a lot of alternative options, and it all depends upon where you live and what you're looking to do. When will SWF, the sovereign wealth funds, jump in? Well, we already discussed Ethiopia's sovereign wealth fund is already jumping in with Bitcoin mining. That's a given. We mentioned that just earlier in the show. And we also discussed Qatar in previous episodes, potentially converting a $500 billion sovereign wealth fund into Bitcoin as per Max Kaiser. We've covered that a few times on the show. Whenever I get updates, you'll hear it from me first. Trust that. Love me some Coinbase, says Mike Bennett. Word up. Uphold, says Bob Marley. Cheers, Bob Marley. Sell your ETH and buy your Bitcoin. Cathie Wood looks too much like Lizzie Warren. No, don't say that. That's so disrespectful to Cathie. Yeah, I think so too. But what I mean is it's not just a secure place right now. Bitcoin has a head start, and staking may be regulated as a taxable event or as a security, regardless of Gensler. Fair argument there, Data. Who would drink Janet but Nance Yellen's bathwater? Man, you'd have to pay me $1 billion to take a sip. I'd be a billionaire, but I'd take a sip and I'd probably vomit for the next 12 hours. Anything less than $1 billion, I can't even entertain. For 1 Bitcoin, do what you got to do. Me? No. It'd take a lot more than 1 Bitcoin to bribe me to drink someone's bathwater. Hold your ETH and your Bitcoin. I am greedy, says Terrell Trust. No bathwater. Let it go, y'all. What about the jars with the farts? Would you guys take a swig and inhale one of her farts in a jar? Coffee time. Just my opinion. Enjoy the coffee, man. 1 Bitcoin per a gallon drunk. Word. Exchanges are for exchanging. Move that Bitcoin off immediately. Good point. Don't treat the exchange as a custodian, because if you don't own your private keys and hold it, you have no control over it. So therefore, you don't own it. If that makes sense. Not your keys, not your cheese. Orange bath water. I bet her water is lumpy. Ugh. Gross. Pretty much, Alice. This is what happens when you tune into a stream dominated with over 90% of the broskies. I think last I checked, we're 93% broskies and only 7% siskies. So I'm inviting more siskies to join us. And there'll be less conversations about her bathwater, I'm sure. I have to remember not to eat during the show. Pretty much, JB, this is for those who are fasting. #1 recommended show for those on a fast. How about that? But before we dive into our featured story, we're going to turn back the clock some here, and we're going to go back to Bitcoin all-time highs, which we skipped earlier because I kind of skipped the order we were in. And let's discuss Bitcoin breaking out and hitting new all-time highs in these particular fiat currencies in these particular countries. Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs against fiat, but its next victim could be especially large. That's right. Data from TradingView shows that Bitcoin price record is coming for the British pound. Let's go. Bitcoin may be at its highest levels in more than 2 years in the United States dollar terms, but other milestones are clearly in sight. Amongst them is the impending all-time high against the pound, set back in early November 2021. The Bitcoin/pound record of just under 51,000 on Coinbase is nearing a retest. The pair managed 41,973, ultimately 42 on February 15th, meaning that just 21% gains are required to enter price discovery. The UK's Bella Gerd currency faces a multitude of headwinds this year. Sticky inflation, stagnant stock market, and a real estate squeeze continue to leave the bitter taste in the mouths of consumers. The latest data released this week, quoted by mainstream media sources, confirmed that the UK's economy has fallen into a recession after 2 straight quarters of economic contraction. Now, how many of you tuned into the stream right now are from the UK? Let me know. Quoting them here, the British economy has become an utter joke, says James Van Straten, research at Crypto Slate, who summarized in a post noting the pound's weakness against the dollar, with the GBP USD trading at $1.25. Historically, some of its lowest ever levels, as James points out right here on X. Now, the UK's policy on crypto continues to target the exchanges and the right to user anonymity. The country also remains a lone outpost in Europe when it comes to the ban on the crypto derivatives, having implemented the move back in 2021. Now let's discuss the Bitcoin price records in Turkey and Japan. On the topic of the all-time highs, UK-based entrepreneur Alistar noted ongoing records for Bitcoin against the Turkish lira, and several other countries, including the euro, in addition to the Russian ruble, are on the cusp of copying the pound. Quoting him here, everyone watches the Bitcoin USD charts because that's where the volume is. But we forget that most people don't use the US dollar day to day. Don't lose sight of how things look in other currencies. Some are at all-time highs and others are at the last resistance before the all-time high. He makes a good point. Now, the Japanese yen is already making new all-time highs, trading at nearly 8 million yen per Bitcoin on the day. That's right. 1 Bitcoin is equivalent to 8 million yen. Let's go. Now, also, as I've been mentioning, I believe in yesterday's episode, we also discussed other currencies reaching all-time highs against the dollar, including the Argentine peso. We just discussed the Turkish lira. There was a handful of others as well. I just can't remember off the top of my head right now. If you guys remember what those currencies are, drop it in the chat. I greatly appreciate that. UK here, and I think every fiat is in the same boat. I think so too, work stuff, because at the end of the day, fiat is a Ponzi scheme. Fractional reserve banking is a Ponzi scheme. The Ponzi, the jig is up. The house of cards is about to collapse. I am a multi-millionaire, David. I don't like to brag, but I'm trying to help others make money and have fun, says Grant Noakes. What up, Keith Bitboy? Mark says, watch my wealth bleed out the last decade here in the UK. Now I move everything into Bitcoin. That's what's up, Mark. More power to you, brother. Halving is near. The price will up every day. Buying power is getting more stronger every day. Cheers to that, press. Dan says, UK here. We have been in a recession for 6 months already, and they have been fiddling the figures. That's right, they always fudge the numbers as much as possible, but now they have to fess up. The jig is up. I thought so. Don't be so disrespectful, says Grant. Guys, big bug. Yeah, we've heard about the big bug about 10 times already. Senado Warren's water is pork water. Ooh. I am in London. Shout out Matt, UK in the building. We have contracted, says Craig, 0.3% in the second quarter. The stock market is stagnated. However, the housing market is still strong. How are the prices in the housing market? Are you seeing inflation tremendous like we witnessed in the United States? Let me know. Word up, having money gives you the power to do more good. Facts, Casey. Money is a magnifier. Think of it as a magnifying glass. It allows good people to do great things and allows evil people to do nefarious things, like we see with the powers that be on a regular basis. Senator Warren really changed her stance on Bitcoin. She was probably forced into creating that. I don't think she changed her stance. The people pulling the strings behind her, I'm sure, still are targeting Bitcoin, and they probably had no choice. I'm sure there's a political agenda behind it, as always there is. Speaking of water, I got some wood bath water. Oh, snap. Crystal clear and fresh from Discriminating Maximalist. Best prices. Reach out to Data Biter if you're interested in Miss Wood's water from the bath. Guys, JV, big bug. Yeah, they send your 5 Bitcoin for everyone you send him. Please don't even say that, Casey, because some people might actually believe it. Never send me anything unless it's a tip. My addresses are in the chat. Never send me anything expecting something in return. Keep it 100. Those are always scams. And JV will never ask you to send me something and that I will triple or quadruple or 5 times your wealth. Never going to happen. The same way Michael Saylor will never send you double the AI deep fake promised you. It'll never happen. She is a puppet's puppet. Precisely, Daddy-O. I agree with that sentiment 1,000%. Send them a lot. Don't expect anything back. Exactly. Just send something as a donation. Don't expect returns. Be like Kathy Wood's bathwater. There you go, Casey. I like it. And speaking of bathwater,
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
Shout out Bruce Lee. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. Pump the likes to pump the stream. We've been streaming now for 58 minutes, so we're going to kick into high gear with our feature story of the day here in a moment. B. Wood's tub. Sorry, kids. I was totally joking. I know you're joking, Casey, but you never know. When you got thousands of people watching the show, all it takes is one person to misinterpret your joke and all of a sudden regret. Janet Yellen dropped a onesie. No, one messy person. The Janet Yellen onesie. No way. Bananas. That Warren thing can't be true. I mean, Bitcoin Magazine shared it. And if you type in Bitcoin right now into crypto Twitter /X, that's like the trending story. So you never know. People actually fall for that stuff, a very small percentage. Of course, that's why they have those deep fake scams flooded on YouTube, unfortunately. The Nipster, the magical elixir in the room. Shout out to the Nipinator. Nice to see your mom has given us the dog back. Well, Nipsey loves my mom because my mom gives him treats all day and takes care of him and rubs his belly. So while I'm doing the show, I think he'd much rather have his belly rubbed. Look at him trying to get comfortable right now. He just can't do it. Look at that. Scratching. Nipsey's giving us a buy signal. Oh, snap. You guys are awesome. But anyways, family, now for our featured story of the day. Bitcoin will hit $1 million this cycle. Here's why. Now, we all know Samson Mow has been predicting 1 million can come as soon as days to weeks after the approval of the ETF. We all know we finally got the ETF approval on January 10th, roughly a month out. The following day, January 11th, they went live. And since there have been massive inflows into these ETFs. So let me break down this story. I'm going to read a couple of headlines and a few tweets. 1 million for Bitcoin, Samson Mow bullish on MicroStrategy after learning this. And another headline, Bitcoin bull Michael Saylor breaks his silence on the Bitcoin price. But I actually want to start here. So here's a tweet from Samson Mow yesterday on Valentine's Day at 6:43 p.m. Many will sell at 100,000 per coin, which is 0.1 million BTC. Many more will sell at 500,000 per coin, which is $500,000 BTC slash 0.5 million. They will need to earn it back at 1 million. There won't be any more opportunity to buy Bitcoin with fiat. And then someone asked, shout out Crypto T, because no one will accept fiat anymore. Mao responded, there's a point at which you don't trade superior money with inferior money. You might exchange dollars for seashells for jewelry, but not as a store of value. And exactly my sentiment and exactly how I think. Why would you ever want to sell the apex predator for the inferior Ponzi scheme, tulip bulb, fiat currency, if you know what I mean? Now, shout out to Undisclosed, who wrote here, I think Samson Mow will be validated much sooner than people expect on his 1 million Bitcoin prediction. I can see it happening this cycle. How many of you can see it happening this cycle? Let me know in the live chat, fam. I remember late April 2016, 2 months before the halving, the price was roughly 430 bucks. It went up 46x. By December 2017, we are 20x away from 1 mil. Now let that sink in. And how many of you were around in Bitcoin back at the 2016 halving in April? And do you guys recall Bitcoin soaring 46x to that $20,000 local all-time high back in December of 2017? I remember I didn't get started till 2017, so unfortunately I missed the halving, but the following year I saw Bitcoin rise from 1,500 when I got involved to 20,000 that same year. And what if we were to have another bull run like that, considering we're in unprecedented territory right now? We have institutional FOMO with mass buying from these ETFs. All of this didn't exist in the previous halvings. You got to keep that in mind. And also, as pointed out here, from the 50,000 level, we're only 20x away from 1 million per coin. So if a couple of halvings ago, we soared 46x, what if we were to soar half, achieve half of what we accomplished from that cycle? Then you're realistically looking at $1 million per Bitcoin. So keep that in mind. Now the conditions are much more favorable for a massive bull run, in my opinion, since we are already seeing ETFs buying more Bitcoin than are being mined every day. In fact, I shared an interview the other day with Pompliano on CNBC talking about the ETF demand is 12.5x the daily issuance. And we all know the daily issuance of the miners is about to get cut in half via the Bitcoin halving only 61 days out, which means there's going to be double that demand, which turns 12.5x demand into 25x. And we all know 80% of the Bitcoin supply is currently in the hands of the long-term hodlers. What's going to happen when there's no more biddies for them to scoop up? Prices go up. It's just basic stock to flow, supply and demand. Anyways, the Lightning Network is orders of magnitude larger and easier to use than it was in 2017. Facts, we are ready. Hold on to your butts. So hold on to your butts, family. And as shared here, let me go back to this story and read some here. MicroStrategy stock receives a significant boost as 1 million for Bitcoin advocate Samson Mow lends his bullish endorsement. And as I mentioned earlier, MicroStrategy's Bitcoin holdings have now surpassed $10 billion, putting them over $4 billion in profit. And it took them 4 years to achieve this, as they were the first publicly traded company to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet back in 2020. And already the ETFs from the inflows of BlackRock and Fidelity and the likes have already collectively surpassed 200,000 Bitcoin in 1 month. So the ETFs have achieved what it took MicroStrategy 4 years to achieve. That's right. But anyways, in a recent tweet, a member of the crypto community unveiled a groundbreaking theory concerning the stock float compression of MSTR. The individual elaborated on what they termed the compression multiple theory, drawing parallels between the trading dynamics of GameStop during the 2021 short squeeze and the current situation with MicroStrategy. According to the theory, MSTR stock float compression, driven by a combo of forced buy-side volume and resilient retail investors, mirrors the pattern observed in GME during the unprecedented surge. The tweet predicts that MSTR, currently trading at approximately 1.2 times its net assets, can potentially see a surge in value akin to GameStop's multiple of net assets, which reached 49 times during the short squeeze. That would be wild. The anticipation is for MicroStrategy to trade near the net assets witnessed in 2021, around 4 times, driven by factors such as increasing retail interest in Bitcoin, as well as bullish sentiment. The theorist attributes this compression phenomenon to the proportion of passive investors in MicroStrategy and changes in allocations to related indexes. And I'm curious, by a show of hands, family, how many of you are invested in MicroStrategy stock? Some say it's a superior version than the Bitcoin ETF because you can save on fees and they're more creative with what they can do. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, as Jeff pointed out here, Samson Mow responded, "Will be interested as I am bullish on MicroStrategy." So I'm curious how many of you guys are bullish on MicroStrategy, and can you see a short squeeze propelling it 49x from the current prices? Let me know. So yeah, Samson Mow expresses bullish outlook on MicroStrategy, indicating the sentiment shared by many within the crypto community. MicroStrategy's significant holdings of 190,000 Bitcoin and 3.5 billion, now 4 billion in unrealized gains with the recent price action further bolster the optimism surrounding the company's prospects. And as I mentioned earlier, MicroStrategy is also not only an advocate of Bitcoin like Samson Mow and extremely bullish and will continue accumulating forever, Laura, but they're also extremely bullish on AI, another thriving industry right now, which you all know, hence why all the billionaires and controllers of the world are currently invested in AI. MicroStrategy obviously is investing in it. Bill Gates has his own, AI. We have Elon Musk just launched his own AI, and I think that will continue as well. So yeah, so MicroStrategy, very bullish on Bitcoin, and I like how they're putting this. The price of Bitcoin is still less than 0.06 million because we're thinking into the future. We all know Bitcoin in the millions is inevitable. The question is, when? Will it happen this cycle, as Samson Mow is suggesting? Will it happen following cycle? We have a halving, which is going to occur in 2028. Could it happen then, 2029, 2030, as Kathy Wood is predicting? What are your honest thoughts, fam? Let me know in the comments in the live chat. I can personally foresee a 1 million biddy by the year 2029. That's my prediction. I'm sticking to it. But I also respect the fact that Bitcoin can do the unprecedented and hit 1 million this year with a 20x from the current price action. Can it happen? Absolutely. Is it the most probable scenario? I'm doubtful. I would throw, if I were to throw an allocation of percentage-wise, I would say 80-20. 80% chance, no $1 million this cycle, but 20% chance is still pretty strong, keeping it 100 with you guys. Meaning, I feel there's a 20% probability we can 20x this cycle. Is it the most likely probability? No. But can it happen? Absolutely. Anything can happen. One thing I won't do is underestimate Bitcoin. I refuse to do that. So when I see these targets, I know it's a possibility because it's unprecedented times we're living in. The dollar can hyperinflate. We could be at 10 million per Bitcoin this year. That's a probability. Will it likely take more time for the dollar to hyperinflate at a level like that? More than likely. But I still respect the prospect of anything can happen. You know what I mean? So regardless of what scenario plays out, 2024, 2025, be prepared. If Bitcoin rips the 500,000 per coin, make sure you got enough biddies stacked now. Be prepared. Max pain. And vice versa. What if we had a very lackluster bull cycle in 2024, right? And instead of going to 100,000 as we all anticipate, we stopped at 65 and we never even smashed the existing all-time high. And we failed to enter price discovery in 2024. What are you going to do to seize the moment? Are you going to buy more Bitcoin, knowing eventually it's going to smash price discovery? Maybe it's the following year in 2025. What are you going to do about it? Be prepared for all scenarios, because at the end of the day, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to repeat it one more time, Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to increase in purchasing power because the US dollar is mathematically guaranteed to decrease in purchasing power. And that's all you need to know. Welcome, Duncan Bailey. Appreciate you subbing to the #1 Daily Bitcoin Pod. Let me know your thoughts, family, in the live chat. And welcome to our live Q&A session. Let's get it. I buy ADA, says press start gaming. Shout out to Thomas Wilson. Appreciate your sub. I jumped into Bitcoin right before the 2021 all-time high. I beat myself up and for investigating and investing when I first heard about it, 2018. I would already have a milli. I am envious. Well, better late than never. Brian Proctor, stick around. Bitcoin's not going nowhere, and before you know it, you will be a Bitcoin millionaire, and you'll be looking back at the new people just joining in a similar boat to you. Like, man, I heard about it years ago, but I didn't pull the trigger. I wish I did. You know what I mean? Because time catches up. Great advice, bro. Cheers, Dan Carden. Yeah, because the reality is no one knows what's going to happen. Any analyst that says, Bitcoin is going to do this and go down to 20,000 like the Soloways out there, man, they're selling wolf tickets. Take what any analyst says with a grain of salt. There's a reason there are no billionaire analysts. There's a reason. I YOLO 25,000 and a bit. Now, if I was the best analyst in the world, I wouldn't even be doing TA or giving advice. I'd rather be under the radar so I'm not targeted. And you got to think that way as well, man. If someone was right 90% of the time on all their trades, you'd want to be incognito is my point. That's why that doesn't exist. Most traders are probably wrong more than 50% of the time and right less than 50% of the time. Hence why they're making a living doing technical analysis. If they were that good, they don't need to make a living by teaching others. They'd just be doing it under the radar, incognito, so they can do it forever, Laura. Like, really think about that. However, it's very easy to deceive the public, have a huge following on YouTube and just offer TA and mislead the people and then get rewards and sponsorships from the forces of evil for ultimately misleading the people. Kind of like Jim Cramer on television, right? Look at the historical data and make your own decisions. Exactly, man. Garrett Soloway was right. Last bear market, now he's getting wrecked. Even a broken clock is right at least 2 times per day. Even Jim Cramer. Soloway don't understand what Bitcoin is and why it's special. He can't grasp it. Love the show. Great job. Shout out to the dog versus the cat. Nice username. 95,000, 120,000 max for Bitcoin. Darth Vader said so. November 2024, after the gold ETF around 400, never came back down again. It took 8 years to hit 1,800. Bitcoin will go up much faster. That's right. And Bitcoin has a finite limited supply, unlike gold. We've never had an ETF commodity being traded which has a finite limited supply. That's unheard of. So it's in a class of its own. Nancy Pelosi, greatest trader ever. Pretty much. A broken clock may not have its hands, though. Anyone who is upset they can't get a whole coin, despair not. If you get 0.1, you'll be a millionaire in 10 years. All you need is time. That's right. Treat your Bitcoin as a savings because it's precisely what it is. It's the ultimate savings guaranteed to increase in purchasing power. Bitcoin would need a 21 trillion or 221 trillion market cap to be at 1 million per coin. 20 trillion sounds easy peasy. Gold is already 13, 14 trillion. Bitcoin just tapped 1 trillion. So I can see Bitcoin doing another 20x. Easy peasy, send it. Let's go, Trini. How you been, fam? Welcome. BlackRock is 0.05% assets under management in Bitcoin. They need at least 1%. That's 20x. And remember when they released that report suggesting 84.9% allocation? This came from the desk of BlackRock like a year or two ago. We covered it on the show. So their own trading desk and research team is suggesting 85% allocation into Bitcoin. You do the math. Yeah, man, it's going to get crazy. We just had a $6,000 week. Amen to that. Cheers, some kombucha. I got a new brand. They ran out of the other one at Costco. So now I'm sipping on the Health Aid kombucha, passion fruit tangerine, bubbly probiotic tea for a happy gut. Cheers. Let's all buy the first hour Monday when JV hits live. Show support for the bull run. Cheers to that, Jack Robinson. We just had, amen. I exceeded that ratio and it worked. Stacking sats, 0.01 BTC. Yeah, man. Cheers, Chini. 20x? Man, yeah, we can 20x. I think we're more likely to 20x in 2024, 2025 bull run than 2028, 29. So we'll see. But even if we didn't hit the 20x and we only did 10x and we're at a 500,000, are you guys complaining or celebrating? Exactly. What if we were only to 5x? Are you guys celebrating at 250,000 or complaining? So the numbers are working on our side. Either way you slice and dice it. I have a question. If there is a sale at 55 G's that makes the price drop to 35, who is the crazy person making the sale when the price is bullish? What do you mean by making a sale? You just mean like an unprecedented black swan event crash in the markets like how COVID did? Because Satoshi is not going to come down and say 2-for-1 sale, guys. Take advantage of it. You can have a savings account or Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin should be your savings account. You should keep zero savings in the bank because you're losing it to inflation, hence the melting ice cube metaphor. You should be saving everything in Bitcoin. So hypothetically speaking, if you have $200 at JP Morgan Chase right now in a savings account, liquidate that and put it into Bitcoin. And thank me later because it will increase in purchasing power and you'll be able to eventually buy $1,000 worth of stuff versus $15 worth of stuff due to losses of inflation by holding dollars in the bank. So only hold in the bank what you can afford to lose. Treat Bitcoin as a savings account for the long haul. And if you can do that, you're just going to gain purchasing power. With one Bitcoin a few years back, you can do so much with it. Now a Bitcoin, again, at $50,000 per coin, you can probably buy whatever car you like, pretty much, maybe 2 Bitcoin, 3 Bitcoin if you're a very extravagant taste. Soon, 1 Bitcoin will be $1 million. You'll be able to buy a mansion with a single coin because the purchasing power is just mathematically guaranteed to increase, and it will. You got to have the patience for the savings to mature. Hence, your Bitcoin are growing up from young children or babies to children to adolescents, teenagers, young adults, entrepreneurs, right? And by that time, $1 million biddies. Nipsey, what's your prediction? Man, he went back downstairs with mom. I melted my index funds into Bitcoin. Smart. 5.25 isn't terrible. Not at all. I'll take a 5x. Keep it 100. We're shooting for 20. Will we accept 5? Yeah, man. Being honest, if we only 3x from here, that's $154,000 per coin. Send it. You know what I mean? But the point is, there's no limit to the sky because sky's infinite to an extent. I don't want to get too metaphysical here. Mr. Crypto Plus update. What's the state of the Bitcoin now? Going up forever, Laura. We're on a 15-year bull run. Looking forward to the next 15 years. JV is going to loopy about Bitcoin. I'm getting loopy.
You've got a business that you love because your family works for the business. It's in your family for 37 years, and you can't bear to sell it. Bitcoin. What's the second best? There is no second best.
Pretty much.
You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up.
Pump the likes to pump the stream. Living the Bitcoin dream. 5% is 1/4 of the way. Bada boom, bada bing. I'm fine with 5x. I think most of you would be. The dome is the limit. Exactly, Casey. Oh my God. 5x, I'll be the richest person in my village. Cheers to that. Rooting for you, fam. Right now, bug on Binance. No, not the bugs. No more bugs, please. Buy low and hodl the dips. There is no second best. That's right. First thing bought by Bitcoin was a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin. That's right. I think it was 2 large Papa John's pizzas, and they were 10,000 Bitcoin each, which is virtually probably over $500 million right now. Because I remember the 10,000 Bitcoin that Max gifted Alex Jones on the laptop a while back was 400 million, and now that Bitcoin is at 51 million, it's probably like closer to 600 million. Crazy, right? You'll have more dollars, but they will be worth less. Exactly. Be careful what you wish for. Will, man, oh my God, I haven't heard the Pump It Up song since the last run. Oh my God, we play it every day here in the show, man. Tune in more often.
You got to pump it up.
5x this bull run. And 5x. And what if we 5x from the previous all-time high? That's a big difference. 69,000 5x versus a 50,000 5x. That's even more bullish. The blockchain is hot. You already know. Laszlo, that's correct. I believe that was the first gentleman to make the Bitcoin purchase. I swear I'm almost more excited about Bitcoin when it is down so I can buy more. That's because you get it. True Bitcoiners are that way. So even when we're down, you're probably celebrating and calculating how much more you can buy. When we're pumping, it's like, oh my God, in the back of your mind, I wish it was lower so I can buy more. Hey man, where I invest my $250 for a month, if you want to support the channel and become a member family, I think the highest membership we offer is Satoshi level. It's like $97 a month. If you want to support the show, if that's what you're asking me. If you're asking where you should invest your money, you tell me where you should invest your money. Hey, JV, do you see ETH going to 2,900 before back to 27? Man, I mean, we're at 28 for Christ's sake, so flip a coin. Yeah, I love red days. 20x Kaiser candle, send it. 1 milli, baby. I just subbed and liked, so I'll be tuning in now. Thank you, Will, man. Appreciate the support. Every sub helps and counts. We're trying to get to 100,000 subs alongside 100,000 Bitcoin price action. I feel it's inevitable. It'll happen this year. There's no doubt in my mind. 5x pump for the ants. We are going so much higher. Gold did 4x in 7 years. Wow. After the gold spot ETF and being around 2,000 years, doubling their mining supply, Bitcoin will have 2 halvings in the next 7 years. There you go, Matthew. I'm probably going to all John McAfee when this Mills come in. What? Shout out Olal. Appreciate the sub. Do you think Ether ETF will come this year? I do. I think being BlackRock already said they're looking forward to it, it's a done deal. Gary No Claire is doing what he does best, providing no clarity. He was just pressed about it and he had no comment. So that tells me more than likely BlackRock is going to come for the Ethereum just as they're coming for the Bitcoin. To me, it's logical and makes sense. What do you guys think? Bullish is what? I still want to buy a Bitcoin hat. Would be afraid to wear it in public. Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to wear it in public. I mean, look at people like Max Kaiser. They're Bitcoin billionaires. And he's rocking Satoshi, I told you so, buck the banks, you know, so. But maybe in the future, I think things could change, especially if the dollar hyperinflated and then there's hyper-Bitcoinization and then people just see people rocking Bitcoin merch as the most fortunate people on the planet, then you may become a target. But I think we're still early in the game. I wouldn't be concerned. Boats, guns, women, coca up in the Aussies coast. Assuming 18 million Bitcoin and a world population of 8 billion, I calculate 225 Satoshi for each human being. Yeah, but unfortunately, most human beings will have 0 Satoshis. They will have CBDCs. 55,000 this weekend. Start the week off right. That's right, Jennifer. We may do another 55,000 pump watch. Continue where we left off this morning, this afternoon. I wear my Bitcoin hat all the time. F the sheep. There you go. A lot of people, and you'll be surprised, rocking Bitcoin hats or gear. Like people will be like, yo, you know, instantly connect with you. Like Bitcoiners love Bitcoiners. Own your crypto. Finally, a troll. Bitcoin is no asset. Really? What is it? Is it rat poison squared? How long do you think the bull run will last? Well, theoretically speaking, if we zoom out, the bull run will last forever, as it has been a bull run for 15 years, but zoomed into 4-year cyclical cycles, the bull run will last till 2025 5, and then we'll start correcting. 2026 and 2027 will be year of the bear. And then 2028, next halving, the bull starts again. This is the 4-year cyclical cycle. And if history rhymes, this is precisely what will happen. Just like 2012, the first halving, right? It was bullish. 2013, massive run up. Then we had bear, bear. Then we had halving, bear, halving, bull, bear, bear. And then halving, bull, bear, bear. Tuning in from work, getting paid for watching crypto news, winning. How can everyone get hooked up like you? I'd love for everyone to tune in every day and get paid to watch the stream. It just makes sense. So whatever job you have, hook everyone up. It's awesome you interact with your viewers. I appreciate it, Will. It makes it fun. I actually prefer it. My favorite part of the show is when the hard work is over, which is me speaking tens of thousands of words of news and just kicking it with you guys and getting to read the chat and read as many comments out loud. It's my favorite part. Everyone invest in XRP also. It'll be higher month of April, says Hacker. I have many people saying I was lucky to buy Bitcoin at the low price, but those people don't understand. I was down 80% long time. They only want to see one side of the coin. Pretty much, Tabi. Hacker believes in XRP. Every time Rex farts, I buy Bitcoin and I'm up big time. All hail Rex. Bro, XRP also I prefer, says Hacker. Are you speaking to yourself, Hacker? You're the only one mentioning XRP. It's not a bear market. It is a chance to get in the game. There you go. What do you think of the next layer 2 coin built on Bitcoin is going to solve for the issues? First, the transaction size speed of the blocks. Man, I guess, I don't know. What's the biggest problem right now? Is it still fees? What hasn't Lightning Network already solved as far as the transactions? Because for me, for everything I have use case for, it already does. So I don't know what else we need. So that's a good question. If you happen to have insights, please do share in which particular tokens. I know Stacks is a great coin on the Bitcoin blockchain. It's one of the top gainers also this week. YouTube can make a ish load pay to view this awesome tech. Troubles them now, I am sure. I drink XRP tears. Such a savage, Jennifer. I love it. You've been to Thailand, by the way. You said long time. Yes, and I actually big fan of Thailand. Spent 30 days there. Chiang Mai, great place to visit. I even went to Chiang Rai, saw the White Temple. The temples are incredible. I really appreciate the Buddhist culture. The Buddhist temples are a lot of fun. The culture was lit. I saw some Thai boxing fights, like live and in the flesh. They were fun. Everyone's gambling in the crowds. Cost bomb into will be $10. XRP is centralized, of course. Unique chance to sell XRP now. Jack says Monday we are at 55 G's. Let's all party to buy more Albi and put some money on Bitcoin. XRP is the sound you hear when the alien farts just before you get abducted. Depositing Lightning onto the Bitcoin blockchain is optimum costly. You missed Japan. Man, I can't wait to visit Japan. I need some of that. What's that dessert I talk about? Moji? I need some of that in my life. Look, the candle, XRP, bro. Man, I'll be honest, XRP is the worst performing crypto in the top cryptos for the past 4 years. I do understand it was the best performing from the 2016-2017 bull run. And it got a lot of people hype. And that's back when it was roughly $4. But since the lawsuits against the SEC, which Clayton launched on his last day in office before Gensler took over, man, it's completely wrecked and destroyed any prospects of XRP breaking out. And it's stuck now at like 54, 55 cents, right? It's been stuck for years. Is it going to get unstuck? Well, Max says they're clearly targeting it, and it's eventually going to go to zero because the SEC will not let it succeed. The SEC has infinite bankroll. They have infinite lawyers, and they have infinite energy to just continue to attack it so that nobody touches it. So you got to keep that in mind. Shiba Inu eats a zero today. I've heard that. Banks don't want the XRP tiers, just saying. Lightning Network depositing on the chains. They're still too high. Thought so, says Adam. But anyways, fam, we've been streaming for 90 minutes, so we're going to continue with the uncensored version of the show exclusive on Rumble. We're streaming right now on YouTube and Rumble. YouTube stream about to end. We'll be back tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the premiere, and we may do a pump watch if we can maintain this type of price action moving into the evening. But what we're going to do now is go to Rumble. There's a Rumble link in the description. You can go directly to rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net or simply open the Rumble app on your mobile phone, type in Crypto News Alerts. You can't miss the stream. Shout out, Hacker. I greatly appreciate you subbing, family. And yeah, let's kick it and do some good stuff with the uncensored version of the show exclusive on Rumble. And I'll see you guys on the tube later this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Head on over to Rumble. See you shortly. Peace. All right, YouTube stream officially over. Rumble fam, where